Again? Are we really begging for sympathy again? You know, there are all kinds of ways to become famous. With social media, there's a variety of ways that attention seekers can get their fix. For example, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Hawk Tuah girl. The clock is rapidly ticking down on the final seconds of her 15 seconds of fame. But the Hawk Tuah girl, she became famous when Lonely Men caused her video to go viral, where she is offering advice on how to properly lubricate the dried cucumber. Dylan Mulvaney, I'm sure you guys remember Bobby D. Dylan Mulvaney became famous by documenting the transition from male birthing person to female birthing person. Now, obviously, this caused a lot of backlash, especially from parents. When Bobby D was criticized, the backlash, it was used and exploited in an attempt to garner your sympathy. Remember when Mina Kimes tried to get your sympathy a couple of years ago? The premier pretend NFL analyst at ESPN, who was hired after submitting a heartfelt letter explaining how her and her father bonded over the Seattle Seahawks. Mina Kimes, she tried to garner sympathy and recognition by sharing direct messages that she received from dudes on Twitter who were infected with toxic masculinity and misogyny. If I remember correctly, I think Sarah Spain tried the same thing. Now, of course, no one noticed because Sarah Spain is the queen of being unnoticed. If she doesn't wear her name tag, Sarah Spain, she doesn't get recognized at family dinners. But there are all kinds of ways to get famous. There are all kinds of ways to get noticed. But when you have talent, there's absolutely no need to rely on gimmicks to maintain your fame. Unlike Dylan Mulvaney, Angel Reese, she's got talent. Problem is, it seems like Angel Reese is continuing to rely on sympathy. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Last month, after Kennedy Carter attacked Caitlin Clark on the court while Angel Reese was cheering her on from the sideline. "You go, girl! Show Katie Rue who the real boss is!" As you guys know, Angel Reese, she's not allowed to get into physical confrontations on the court. According to Angel Reese herself, she's not allowed to do this because her status won't allow it. Well, KC, what status? Yeah, here we are 4 months later, and I still don't have an answer to that question. But a couple of days after Chen Carter attacked Caitlin Clark, the Chicago Bravado, they were getting off the Greyhound and heading to the high school gym to play a game of pretend basketball. As they were stepping off the bus, the Chicago Bravado, they were immediately surprised. There was a man standing there waiting for them, wanting to ask Kennedy Carter some questions. Now, this is very, very rare in the WNBA. Normally, when they are stepping off the Greyhound, the only people waiting are homeless people who are trying to ask people walking the streets for money before WNBA players can ask them first. For the first time in her career, Kennedy Carter, she was approached by someone who was actually interested in asking her questions. Problem was, she wasn't exactly in the mood that day to answer the questions that were being asked. Watch for yourself.
Have you gotten a chance to reach out to Caitlin? Have you gotten a chance to reach out to Caitlin? Trinity, have you gotten a chance? The basketball world wants to know if you've gotten a chance to reach out to her.
Was that guy annoying? Sure. Was he looking to use the situation between Caitlin Clark and Kennedy Carter to further his own media career? Maybe. Did he violate the woke commandments by practicing the fine art of mythical racism and mythical misogyny? No. According to multiple players from the Chicago Bravado, including Angel Reese, this dude, he is guilty of mythical racism. They claim that he used a variety of racial slurs that were conveniently left off the clip. For several hours, Angel Reese and her fellow dump divers, they tried to exploit the situation for sympathy, but it's strange. Here we are 4, maybe even 5 weeks later, and there hasn't been a single shred of evidence proving that dude was guilty of violating the woke commandments. I wonder why. I wonder if we haven't seen any evidence because it doesn't exist. The narrative they were going with last month is that fans of Caitlin Clark, they were guilty of mythical racism towards Angel Reese. Now, fortunately for Angel Reese, there was evidence provided earlier this week to possibly back up these claims, but for some reason, no one in the media is reporting it. I have been sitting on this story since Tuesday or Wednesday. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to be picked up by the mainstream media. Yet for some reason, there hasn't been a single mainstream media outlet interested in picking up this story. Which is very strange when you think about it. As you guys know, the media, they love a good story of mythical racism. Stories like this, it's the reason that Joy Reid hops on her broom every morning and flies into work. Stories like this, it keeps Jamel Hill in business. They're the reason Bomani Jones started his YouTube channel, Right Time to Be a Huge Embarrassing Failure, after he was fired by HBO and ESPN. But no one in the media has picked up this story. No one can find the interest. Why? Maybe, just maybe, they are doubting its legitimacy. I'll show you the screenshots and let you decide for yourself. Headline at the Atlanta Black Star. Angel Reese mother exposes hateful messages from Caitlin Clark fans targeting her daughter. How many of you guys have ever heard of Val Whiting before? Well, KC, did he star in Batman in the mid-90s? No, that was Val Kilmer. Val Whiting is a former basketball player. Now, Val didn't play in the NBA. Val played in something called the American Basketball League, and she spent the final few years of her career making minimum wage in the WNBA. Like Caitlin Clark, Val Whiting, she achieved something in her career that many thought was impossible. She played for 4 different teams, and 3 of those 4 teams, they no longer exist. They went out of business. Now, supposedly, Val Whiting is close to Angel Reese Sr. KC, don't you mean she's close to Angel Reese? No. Apparently, the Angel Reese that we know, she's actually Angel Reese Jr. because her mother's name is also Angel Reese. Now, according to Val Whiting, Angel Reese Sr., she sent the following screenshots to her. These messages allegedly came from fans of Caitlin Clark. Check it out for yourself. Now, one of these messages, it was allegedly sent to the Angel Reese Foundation, which I would assume is her charity. I believe the Angel Reese Foundation is responsible for assisting WNBA players who are struggling to pay the bills with their minimum wage salaries. Now, the second message, it was allegedly sent from what appears to be a cell phone, a text message. Now, for privacy reasons, I edited the message to exclude the cell phone number, but Val Whiting, she posted the phone number on Twitter. These messages, they might be legitimate. I don't know. I'll let you decide for yourself what you believe. I'm more interested in knowing why Val Whiting released them to the public. What is the reason you're doing this? Outside of garnering sympathy for Angel Reese, why would you leak these messages on social media? I'd be willing to bet that Caitlin Clark receives messages just like this every single day. Hell, for the first 2 months of the WNBA season, she was being verbally attacked by other WNBA players. But I don't remember Caitlin Clark releasing messages to the public. What about Bob Garner? Now, I'm no defender of Bob Garner, but I bet she receives hateful messages every day too. To my knowledge, Bob Garner has never leaked them to the public. Outside of garnering sympathy, I cannot think of another reason that someone possibly associated with Angel Reese would leak these messages on social media. Now, this is pure speculation on my part, but this feels like another desperate attempt to bring attention to Angel Reese. And once again, they are using Caitlin Clark to do it. Earlier this week, we talked about the WNBA along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media relentlessly promoting Angel Reese. When Caitlin Clark is discussed in the media, they talk about her leading the WNBA in turnovers. They talk about her supposed white privilege. Monica McNutt, she tries to downplay her impact on the WNBA while claiming that people are paying attention to the entire league, not just Caitlin Clark. Obviously, that's bullshit, but Mona wants you to believe it. When the media talks about Angel Reese, they talk about her streak of double-doubles. The other day, Angel Reese was basically gifted 2 points in the final seconds of a game to keep her double-double streak alive. The media is pushing for Angel Reese to be the Rookie of the Year. Matter of fact, the media is doing the same thing to Caitlin Clark that they did to Nikola Jokic last year in the NBA. Remember last year when they gifted the MVP award to Joel Embiid? You guys remember that? Kendrick Perkins was bitter that a white dude was going to win the award again. So ESPN, they go on this campaign to get the award given to Joel Embiid. They are doing the same thing again now with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I saw a report the other day where ESPN is ranking Angel Reese as the #1 rookie in the WNBA. Let me ask you something. How many tickets is Angel Reese selling? How many viewers is she drawing on national television? Well, KC, those things don't matter. Rookie of the Year is based on what happens on the court. It's given to the most valuable rookie. Oh, yeah? Caitlin Clark is playing for the worst team in the league, and they might make the playoffs. The Indiana Felines, they could barely win a game before Caitlin Clark was drafted. But it doesn't matter. You have one star in this league. You have one player that is capable of drawing mainstream interest. One player who has elevated the entire league. And the media, they are intentionally bypassing her to give Rookie of the Year to Angel Reese? Like I said the other day, we have seen this before. We have seen what happens when the media tries to forcefully create a star. It backfires. It feels like they are trying to force us to like Angel Reese. And the thing is, Angel Reese doesn't need it. I thought she was likable when she was at LSU. Matter of fact, before she exchanged millions of dollars for a hard hat and steel-toed boots and became a dump diver in the WNBA, I thought Angel Reese was likable. Now, it feels like it's being forced upon us. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Does it feel like the WNBA and the media are trying to force Angel Reese on us? Also, give me your thoughts on the leaked messages. Why has the media not picked up the story? Why do you think Val Whiting leaked the messages on social media? Give me your reason. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.